Greetings, welcome. This is Lighthouse Yoga Evanston. This is a reading from the Tarot, A Key to the Wisdom of the Ages, the Classic Guide by Paul Foster Case. Key 10, The Wheel of Fortune, Kaf. Kaf, C as in core or K. Value 20, as a final letter 500. Means primarily a curve, which should be remembered in connection with the fact that in tarot, a wheel is attributed to this letter. Kaf is the hand of the man in the act of grasping. To grasp is to hold, to comprehend, to master. What can be grasped mentally is intelligible, clear, explicit, positive, definite, precise. These ideas, it will be seen, are in sharp contrast to the ineffability and abstractness of those which are related to Yod and the hermit. Wealth and poverty are the pair of opposites attributed to the double letter Kaf. These are the extremes of property, the external signs of one's grasp of circumstances. West, the direction attributed to Kaf, is represented on the diagram of the cube of space by the face nearest the observer. At the place of sunset, west symbolizes the completion of a day or of a cycle of manifestation, the closing of a circle or round of expression. This is in agreement with the symbol of the closed hand. The close of the day's work with the setting sun is related to such ideas as completion, accomplishment, mastery, success, and the like. Freemasons will remember that the officer who sits in the west is charged with paying the wages of the workman. Again, it is written, quote, "Westward the course of empire takes its way," end quote, for the facts of human history exemplify the principles of cosmic law. Thus, too, the Occidental world is the world in which practical grasp of material powers is the characteristic mark of success, in contrast to the Orient, where a man's wealth is more likely to be reckoned in terms of his understanding of those laws of mental germination typified in tarot by key 3, Empress, to which the direction east is attributed. Jupiter, the planet attributed to Kaf, rules the zodiacal signs Sagittarius, key 14, Temperance, and Pisces, key 18, the Moon. Jupiter is also exalted in Cancer, key 7, the Chariot, wherein this planet's influence is symbolized by the wheels. Jupiter is called the Lord of Fortune, or the Greater Fortune, in contrast to Venus, the Empress, whom astrologers denominate the Lesser Fortune. In astrology, Jupiter signifies bankers, judges, and theologians, or religious dignitaries, that is, men who have a firm grasp on the comprehensive, lucid statement of ideas and knowledge of the application of ideas in the administration of practical affairs. Jupiter is said to govern the circulation of the blood and circular motion generally. The color assigned to this planet in our scale is violet. The musical tone corresponding is B flat or A sharp. Intelligence of conciliation, or rewarding intelligence of those who seek, is the Kabbalistic name for the mode of consciousness attributed to the letter Kaf. Conciliation is the adjustment of differences, the establishment of harmony and order, and thus is distinctly Jupiterian. This mode of consciousness is what brings perception of the law which fulfills the promise, "Seek and ye shall find." Conciliation implies concord, agreement, sympathy, peace, amity, tranquility. The law here shown is that which reconciles apparent differences, that which enables us to harmonize the elements of existence, that which leads to the winning over of seemingly antagonistic forces, that which conduces to peace and prosperity. The title of Key 10, the Wheel of Fortune, combines the ideas of rotation, cyclicity, sequence, whirling motion, simultaneous ascent and descent, evolution and involution, and so on, with the ideas of fortune, destiny, chance, fate, necessity, probability, and the like. Occult teaching emphatically asserts that what seems to be chance, whether absence of purpose or absence of design, is really the working of unalterable law. The rotation of circumstance appears to be accidental, but is not really so. Every effect is the consequence of preceding causes, and the better we grasp this law of sequence and cyclicity, the greater our command over subsequent events. There is periodicity in everything. The affairs of men and those of nations have a rhythm, a regularity, a steadiness of beat, which enables the wise to read the meaning of the present in the history of the past, and makes it possible to forecast the events of the future from close examination of present tendencies. The wheel, moreover, is a symbol of progress, advancement, improvement, and so represents the march of culture, civilization, and amelioration, which, in occultism, is called the Great Work. The design of the 10th major trump, in this version of tarot and in the Rider Pack, is adapted from Eliphas Levi's diagram of the Wheel of Ezekiel in his Ritual of the Sanctum Regnum. At the corners of the card, seated on clouds, are the mystical animals mentioned in Ezekiel 1:10 and in Revelation 4:7. They correspond to the fixed signs of the zodiac: the bull to Taurus, the lion to Leo, the eagle to Scorpio, the man to Aquarius. The numbers of these signs in the zodiacal series are 2, 5, 8, and 11, adding to 26, the number of Yod-He, Vav-He. In this name, Yod, or I, is represented by the lion, the first H by the eagle, the V by the man, and the final H by the bull. Thus, the, quote, living creatures typify the fixed, eternal modes of the one reality, which, so to say, remain permanent in contrast to the flux and reflux symbolized by the turning wheel. That which was, is, and shall be remains ever the same in itself, and the whole sequence and rotation of events goes on within it. The wheel is the symbol of the whole cycle of cosmic expression, and is also an emblem of any particular series of events. Its center, or pivot, is the archetypal world. The inner circle is the creative world, the middle circle the formative world, and the outer circle the material world. The 8 spokes are like the 8-pointed star in Key 17 and represent the universal radiant energy. This central circle is the same as the symbol of the life breath, 10 times repeated on the dress of the fool. On the spokes of the wheel in the circle representing the formative world are the alchemical symbols of mercury, sulfur, and salt. These correspond to the 3 gunas of yoga philosophy: sattva, rajas, and tamas. At the bottom of the same circle is one of the alchemical symbols for dissolution, identical with the astrological symbol for Aquarius. Mercury is consciousness, sulfur is passion and activity, salt is ignorance and inertia. Dissolution is said to be the fundamental process of the great work. A yellow serpent, its wavy movement suggesting vibration, and its color that which is assigned to light, to the planet Mercury, key 1, the magician, and to the sign Leo, key 8, strength, in one of the ancient occult color scales, descends on the left side of the wheel. Its descent represents the involution of the cosmic radiant energy into the conditions of name and form. It is the serpent power represented by the letter Teth, and so connected with the sign Leo and key 8. It is also the force which descends through the magician to his garden, and this force bears the message or impulse of the cosmic will. Hermes Anubis, jackal-headed Egyptian god, rises on the right side of the wheel to represent the evolution of consciousness from lower to higher forms. His jackal's head represents intellectuality. His red color typifies desire and activity. He symbolizes the average level of our present human development of consciousness. Beyond and above him is a segment of the wheel which only a few human beings have as yet traversed. The Sphinx typifies the real self of man, behind the veil of personality. It is known by the unfoldment of inner senses corresponding to the outer ones. When this unfoldment comes, we become aware of the one thing which transcends personality. This one thing, in capitals, is the propounder of the riddles of existence. It remains motionless while the wheel turns. Its blue color relates it to memory, the basic function of subconsciousness, as if to emphasize the idea that the highest self-knowledge is really self-recollection. On the wheel, in the circle representing the material world, are the letters T-A-R-O, counterchanged with the Hebrew letters spelling Yod-He, Vav-He, or I-H-V-H, the Tetragrammaton. In Hebrew values, the letters of Taro, T-A-R-O, make the number 671, important in Kabbalah as the number of certain titles of Malkuth, the kingdom. As the value of Yod-He, Vav-He is 26, the total numeration of the 8 letters on the wheel is 697, and the digits 697 add to 22, a number associated with the circle or wheel from time immemorial, and the numbers of letters in the Hebrew alphabet, symbolized by the major trumps of the tarot. By transposition, the letters of T-A-R-O, or Taro, may be arranged to make the following 5 words: Rota, Taro, Orat, Torah, Ator. Ator is an old Latin form of the name of the Egyptian goddess Hathor. Thus, this rather barbarous Latin sentence may be translated, "The wheel of tarot speaks the law of Hathor," or the law of nature. Psychologically, this tarot key refers to the law of periodicity in mental activity, whereby mental states have a tendency to recur in definite rhythms. It is the law also of the involution of undifferentiated conscious energy, and its evolution through a series of personalized forms of itself. Finally, the Wheel of Fortune is the tarot symbol of the law of cause and consequence, which enables us to be certain of reaping what we have sown. Thus ends the chapter on Key 10, the Wheel of Fortune, from Paul Foster Case's The Tarot, the Key to the Wisdom of the Ages. Thank you so much for listening. Please pardon any mistakes on my part in the reading of the chapter. Highly recommend the full book, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.